Pollution presents a massive threat to our aquatic environment in both freshwater and saltwater. The work that the Angling Trust and Fish Legal have led since 1948 to protect fish, fishing and the environment and make polluters pay is perhaps more crucial now than ever before. Be it agricultural pollution, industrial pollution or the massive levels of pollution we're seeing from sewage, anglers need a voice and ability to fight for the environment that we depend upon.
When we go fishing and sit by rivers or on our still waters, it often looks pristine and it looks glorious. But it's often hiding a secret, and that secret is pollution. Some of it you can see, but a lot of it is hidden. And that pollution is slowly deteriorating and damaging our rivers and our still waters, changing the chemical makeup of our water, affecting the plant life, affecting the invertebrates, and impacting on our fish. So pollution is a big issue for us and one that we're campaigning hard on.
Fish Legal has been around for an awful long time. We've existed in one form or another since about 1948. And essentially what we do is we take legal action on behalf of our angler members when their waters are polluted or they face some other threat or environmental damage. We also take legal action against the government and its agencies when they fail to protect fisheries. We're a small team of lawyers. We're experts in our field and we know what we're doing. We don't take on cases for show and we often operate under the radar, but we are always putting the interests of anglers first. Legal action is expensive and we are up against some very powerful, well-resourced industries and organisations. Anglers coming together is the only way that we can fund the legal action that's needed to make polluters pay.
The reality is, as we speak, there is not a single river in England that is not polluted. There's two main drivers for that, one being agriculture, the other the water industry. For me, it's a combination of lack of political oversight for the last 30 years and a complete and utter failure of regulation. Water companies have now abstracted, in terms of interest and dividends, almost £74 billion in value out of those companies. That is water bills payers' money, and we've ended up with rivers full of sewage. That doesn't seem to me like a very fair trade. It's a plague on the whole of the environment, every river in the country, and everyone involved in that process should be ashamed and held accountable. Right now, every angler needs to join the Angling Trust to get involved in these things. You need to do that, and you need to do it today.
So the Angling Trust are really doing two things. The first off is we're highlighting this issue to government, to the regulators, to water companies, to the farming lobby. We're raising the issue of the impact they're all having on our rivers. We are trying to seek to change policy. We are trying to drive through and make sure there's the necessary funding and investment going in to protect our rivers. So that's the first thing we're doing. The second thing we're doing is much more practical. We're looking at the fact that at the moment, the regulators, and particularly the Environment Agency, has stopped monitoring the quality of our water. So it's not identifying the impact that pollution is having. So we, amongst others, are stepping in through our water quality monitoring network that many anglers are now supporting us with to fill the gaps that the Environment Agency has left, to monitor the quality of our water on a regular basis and to use that information to lobby for change and action.
When I first started filming in rivers, which was the very late 80s, it wasn't uncommon for me to get into the river and film shoals of grayling 300 to 400 strong, and I would literally be surrounded by masses of them. You move forward now to 2022, I am now filming grayling in pockets of 30 to 40. The richness and diversity that we have in our freshwater environment is absolutely superb. And a lot of people are so unaware of these amazing areas. Through my filming, if I can educate people about how important this environment is, then I feel as if I'm obviously doing my part in supporting the welfare of the rivers. Every time I get into a river, it's completely different. And when you allow a river to take you on her journey, you actually become part of something unique and magical. It is truly amazing, to be quite honest. When you're stood on the riverbank and you're looking at the water, it just looks perfect. You then go into this alien world and it is completely flipped on its head, to be quite honest. Every time I actually get in, I come across pollution, and that is on every dive I do. So the changes and the impacts that's happening, instead of moving forwards, we are going backwards at an extremely fast rate. Seeing the rivers decline every time I get in them, I think, number one, it's disgraceful. It shouldn't be like that. You know, areas where I film clean gravels this year have been smothered in algae and there's been no fish. You know, we need to change, because rivers aren't just flowing water. These areas are living arteries. And this decline, it can't carry on. There's times I feel absolutely distraught, to be quite honest, because it shouldn't be like this. The most wonderful aspect about rivers is that if they are nurtured and cared for, they will recover. And that's what's marvellous about these areas. By joining the Angling Trust and supporting the Anglers Against Pollution campaign, we can all come together to fight this important cause.
So the water quality monitoring kit has a range of different measures and equipment in it you use, and all together it costs about £300 per kit. So that means that for every 10 people who join the Angling Trust, who become members, we can kit out another volunteer, another angling club with water quality monitoring kits, and we can continue to increase that network across the country. So anglers joining the Angling Trust makes a direct contribution to us improving our water quality monitoring network.
So what can you do to help? Whether you're an individual, a club or a fishery, the first thing to do is to join the Angling Trust and Fish Legal. It's a joint membership and both organisations fight for fish, fishing and the environment. The Anglers Against Pollution campaign gives you a chance to buy merchandise, showing your support to the work that we do, with every penny being reinvested back. And if you're a club, consider joining our water quality monitoring network. Anglers have been custodians of our waterways for decades, and this network allows you, at a grassroots level, to monitor the river that you care about and feed back into those crucial elements of policy that we can help drive change.